one young man struggled up the dusty path toward the monastery, feeling the afternoon sun beating down on his back. His forehead was dripping with sweat, reflecting the unease roiling within of him. Life, it seemed, had thrown him a curved ball, and he had blown it horribly. His love life was a barren wasteland, his once promising job in ruins, and his financial account was as empty as a monk's begging bowl. When the young man arrived at the monastery gates, an elderly, wrinkled monk welcomed him with a smile. The monk, his voice like sandpaper on wood, yelled, come in, child. You look like you could use a cup of enlightenment tea." A young man chuckled, a dry, humorless sound. "Enlightenment tea? I don't need enlightenment, I need a miracle." The monk chuckled back, a sound that rustled the nearby leaves. "Ah, miracles. Tricky things those. But tea is quite reliable." With hesitation, the young man took a drink of the bitter coffee inside the cold monastery walls. The monk, whose name was Bodhi, settled cross-legged opposite him. "So, tell me, young man," Bodhi said, his rheumy eyes twinkling, "what is this life that is troubling you so?" The young man spoke with thick frustration as he voiced his problems. With patience, Bodhi listened, shaking his head now and again like a bobblehead with a bad case of vertigo. After the young man had finally calmed down, Bodhi gave a contemplative stroke to his beard. He said gently, "You see, life's like this cup of tea. Depending on the situation, it can be uninteresting bitter, or, if you're lucky, just right." The young man snorted, "But what if you keep getting stuck with the bitter leaves?" With a smile, Bodhi said, "That's when the excitement begins, my friend. You know, it's natural that we may encounter obstacles in life. However, how we stir the pot is up to us." For a minute, the metaphor remained. The young man's face then lit up slowly with a smile. "So, you're saying I need to change my approach, not wait for some magic solution?" Buddha smiled. "Exactly. Although you have no control over the leaves you are given, you do have power over how potent you can make them. You see, a little resilience goes a long way." The burden on the young man's shoulders lessened as he walked out of the monastery. Though he didn't know everything, he had fresh insight. He realized that life wasn't about waiting for a miracle. It was about learning how to make a good cup of tea out of the bitter leaves that were provided. On the dusty path toward the monastery, the young man's journey mirrors our struggles in life, facing setbacks, disappointment, and uncertainty. But amidst the chaos, there's a profound lesson waiting to be uncovered. Similar to the young man, we frequently find ourselves looking for miracles in the face of difficulty, expecting a simple solution to our issues. However, life is like a cup of tea, it can be bitter or sweet at times, as Bodhi wisely says. It's more important how we brew the leaves than what kind they are provided. What really matters when faced with obstacles is our resilience, the capacity to adapt and change our approach as needed. We can turn the bitterness of life into something palatable, something meaningful. It's about taking responsibility for our situation instead of just waiting for miracles to come. Let us all take inspiration from the young man's awareness that life isn't about waiting for miracles to happen, but rather about creating our own out of the bitter leaves that life throws at us. Let's all work to brew the greatest cup of tea life has to offer by embracing change and resilience.